Great Britain in a blaze with a new so-called Lord of Crime, a criminal mastermind responsible for the downfall of several unruly nobles. In truth, the Lord of Crime is not an individual, but rather a group, consisting of William James Moriarty and his two brothers Louise and Albert. Together they wish to destroy everything rotten about their current world and create a new fair society for all. To accomplish their goal, they must commit criminal acts, which the great detective Sherlock Holmes and his partner J.H. Watson cannot abide by. A dangerous cat and mouse game begins between the Lord of Crime and Sherlock, which each trying to outwit the other. Yet Sherlock, despite his skill, has no idea that his foe is right under his nose. Involving one of both parties, a woman named Irene Adadel, who is also as beautiful as she is cunning. No stranger to scandal, Irene has embroiled herself in one maybe too big even for her, as the classified document she stole could shake the very foundation of the British Empire. Can Irene be saved, or does a deadly future awaits her? This anime has about 13 episodes from April 4th, 2021 to June 27th, 2021. Based off a manga series, it is mystery suspense. Themes are historical and psychological. Demographic children. Each episode is 20 minutes per episode and is rated 17 plus for violence and profanity. Let's get started into the review. What I really like about season 2 of Moriarty the Patriot is because we are now involving the cat and mouse game between William James Moriarty and the famous Mr. Sherlock Holmes. And just to see these two interact was really intriguing, because I think when you're following the cases from both season 1 and season 2, it does follow the classical cases from the Sherlock Holmes series if you read them in elementary school, which I did. Also, I feel like a little bit of a twist on it, because when you're having James and Sherlock interact, at first Sherlock doesn't know who James is, which is pretty good considering that he is the Lord of Crimes. But it's not just him, it's him and his brothers, Albert and Louise. And for Sherlock not to realize that his greatest foe is literally right in front of him, is the greatest puzzle of them all. Like, having these three brothers disrupt their higher class society because a few of them are rotten to the core is the perfect case for the great noble and famous Sherlock Holmes to solve in the very first place, along with his trusty sidekick Watson. But we also add to the mix Irene Adadel, a famous woman who's also not afraid of Skinner. And we just have like William just portraying like a mathematics professor, which is a very interesting ruse to say the least, to get under the eyes of the rich up and coming nobles and them not knowing who they're dealing with. Also, I feel with Irene, we're also dealing with another persona besides Irene Adadel. We are also dealing with another persona of the great famous, another spy name you've heard countless other before, is the wonder James Bond. Now, with this persona of James Bond, adding on more to the Lord of Crime and with his brother's secret circle, we're just barely scratching the surface with the second season. And with a new person added to the group, there's more crimes to follow to get rid of the corrupted nobles that stand in their wake. Sure, there'll be a couple of casualties, but all in fair and loving wars in my case, especially when they are tasked with this one job that seems to be a little bit over their heads. Maybe not, but you'd have to watch the second season just to truly find out if the Lord of Crime and Irene Adadel are truly up for the challenge when it comes to these infamous documents that she so miraculously had to retain in her clutches. Now, with the parallel between Sherlock Holmes and James Moriarty, between this cat and mouse game that these two correlate, and they're both the yin and the yang, they kind of balance each other out very nicely. And you wouldn't think they would, from both ends being on the side of justice, both wanting, justice to be served, and those who are rightly wronged by the accused to have their fair share. I think if you're looking at it from both, perspectives, from Sherlock's perspective and from Williams, they both want to decide the great thing, and they want to see everyone be treated fairly, no matter what your social status is. And I think I might be biased here, but I kind of agree what Williams is doing. I know I'm siding with the villain, but hear me out. If you watch both point of views from Williams and then from Sherlock, and then combine those two together, they're not necessarily doing a bad thing. Sure, they're committing a crime, but they're getting rid of the people that caused them to do this in the first place. Plus, the victims who they affected, who are reaching out and calling for help when their voices are not being heard, especially when they tackle the infamous Jack the Ripper case. But I will not go into more details other than that. You definitely have to check out season 2 if you haven't seen it already. And let me know in the comments below, what side do you pick, Sherlock or Williams? Let me know. Bye.